Hello and good evening. Had a really good day working on the mast, amongst other things. So yeah, back vertical. Not quite perfectly straight, but I'll sort that out in due course. Main thing is it's back up with all the required elements. Had an interesting problem with the SWR measurements. It turned out to be a dirty connector, so I resolved that and gave it a clean. Brought it back out and all the measurements were correct. So bringing from the mast, it was fine with a short piece of coax, and when I came in, it was all over the place. So it took a bit of time to get that right. But yeah, main thing is she's all back up and running again. All six bands, and the SWR is acceptable to very good across all of them. Had an interesting time because it was my first experience of like doing a live stream. I'm now running as part of my master's course. I'm doing an MSc in computing, and part of that will involve my amateur radio setup. And I've got this nice weather set up here, and that's working beautifully. It's transmitted in, and my Linux box is capturing the results, which is then publishing them to my internal web server on WeWX, and also publishing them to Weather Underworld, so whatever it's called. But yeah, it's really good. I mean, I've got a nice stand for it. I did originally put it on these pink poles just to get me started. But I got a nice stand. I'm thinking I might put a few other things on here as well. That's the intention. Dear God. Anyway, excuse me. Anyway, so yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to put on my what do you call it? My mini whip on here. It's enough space. It's bung it on here, and then I'll be setting up a web SDR that people can use. The main point is my assignment's on like web technologies, so the stats from the antenna, transmission, stats from this. Cool. And there's my webcam, which is streaming to YouTube. So I'm using a couple of different technologies to make that all happen. But that webcam is really fantastic. I think I'll probably have to do something about this. I haven't choked it up yet, so I don't know how much, how do you call it, how much interference I'm getting from the power supply. I'll put some ferrites on it in due course, but yeah, the actual camera itself is brilliant. So I'll be sorting that out in shortly. What's left to do? So for my web project, I will be putting up a 40 meter inverted V dipole. That's what that's going to be. I'm going to move the mini whip to here, so it's more about proving a technology than it actually being really very good. So yeah, and then I'll be putting my inverted V on the pole there. I think that's a good 7, you know, it's the right height for a quarter wave. So I'll put that up. I've used it before on 40 meters and it worked really well. And I'll be using my Raspberry Pi for transmitting whisper signals out, and then I'll be collecting the data and incorporating that into my website, which will be quite nifty. Other bits and pieces I've got going on, still yet to put up the NOAA antenna. Quite literally ran out of time this weekend. It took me the whole day to get main mast back up and running. Had to create a new 20 meter wire because that completely snapped. I had to rejig all the others. But yeah, holding all in all, it went well. But didn't have time to put the NOAA antenna up or work on a rotator yet. But that will happen. The days are getting longer, thankfully, so it'll be nice to come out here and get some more work. I mean, I think the most immediate thing for me to do next is to change the kayaks over, get the line filter I've got in place, and use the Messing Poloni kayaks I've got at the moment. It's just it's not bad. It's called Mini 5 kayaks. It's done me well until now, but it's certainly for the rotating 2 meter VHF, the M&P kayaks will do really well. So I've got to do that next. I mean, it's the next thing I can do that in the evening as well. So yeah, get the filter, inline filter on the antenna end, and Messing Poloni kayaks back into the shack, and the 40 meter wire and the Whisper transmitter. So I've got a Whisper account now, which is really good. That was all sorted really quickly, so I can use the APIs to get the data into my website. So yeah, all in all, a really productive weekend, both for my hobby and for my academics. So looking forward to it. Stay safe, and thanks again for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. Please do feel free to comment, add feedbacks, but stay safe till next time. 73.